so nice to meet you. We are super happy to be here.
Oh,
My name is Tuani. It's like the number 20. So,
oh, beautiful. I love that.
yeah.
Amazing.
And I'm here with my best friend and partner, Isabella. So
Hi.
we are super excited to make this interview. And I hope you enjoy this moment with us, okay?
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time, you guys. I appreciate it.
Perfect.
Mhm.
So, we are Brazilians, so we are very happy that we already had you here in Brazil. I think it was 3 years ago. And since I know that you love Brazilian songs and also Brazilian foods, I bring some pão de queijos,
Oh,
but I know you can eat, but maybe I can send to you, but I promise
yes.
I will not eat.
Oh my gosh. That's my favorite thing too. It's like my favorite food from there. Oh my gosh. I could eat like a
It's
million. So
That's
good.
amazing.
So good.
Yeah, so this is our way to invite you to be in Brazil as soon as possible. So, do you think if there is any chance to have you in Brazil as soon we can?
Absolutely. Yes. I've been working on it with the whole team because I really want to go back. I've only ever done one show there, but I want to do one for the tour. Like it would be my dream to go there for the tour. So we're trying to figure it out. There's of course a lot of logistics and timing and all that, but we fingers crossed, like I really want to make it happen. So let us pray.
That's so nice. We are super excited that you came back after your break. So I would love to know how is for you to being back, like 100% back to the music industry right now, releasing our new album, Love and Hyperbole. So what's the feeling right now?
There's a lot of feelings right now. So many different things. I think, on one end, I'm extremely nervous and it feels kind of like it's new to me again, even though I've been doing it for 10 years. Being away for so long and then coming back, you kind of have to like find your balance again. So I feel a little nervous. But then, on the other end, which is the bigger side of things, I feel just so excited. I've had this music for so long now. I've been sitting on it, waiting for people to hear it, and I'm just so excited about it. I can't wait to play this music live and to be able to talk about it openly, once it's finally out. So I'm very excited, very eager.
Yeah, and we are very excited to see everything, all the other songs that you have been preparing for us.
Thank you.
And so, Alicia, there's a big coincidence here because when you released Know It All in 2015, like 10 years ago, it was basically when me and Twenty started our friendship, like to be best friends, and
Oh,
yeah, and our female friendship. And since then, our concept about romantic love has changed a lot. Like
mm,
everything we knew about love is changing as we
mm,
becoming grow woman, right?
mm.
So for you, considering your album is about love, for you, the difference between Alessia 10 years ago and Alessia right now, what is your big difference that you see about your conception about romantic love? It changed like us?
Definitely, yeah. I think so. I think like as you get older, and you have all these new experiences, I think you can sort of reshape your idea of what love means. And first of all, the fact that love, I mean, as cheesy as it sounds, like love is everywhere and it can come from so many places. It's not just romantic, I think familial love is extremely important. The love you feel for your family and your parents and siblings and, your friendships that you can nourish and self love, the love that you feel about yourself and about life. So I think my view of it has changed in that I see that it's everywhere if you really do look for it. There's, it's the heartbeat of life, no pun intended, but I know that sounds kind of like cheesy, but it's the truth.
No, no,
But
it
Not
makes
at all.
perfect sense.
yeah. um and yeah, I think I've just become more positive about it. I've understood what unconditional love means, which I think real true love is supposed to make you feel bigger and larger. It's supposed to expand you, rather than suppress you and make you feel small. And I used to think when I was younger that, oh, if you're making all these sacrifices and compromising yourself so much, like that's what real love is, giving up parts of yourself. But I think the
Yeah,
reality is it's supposed to give you more parts of yourself, real love. It's supposed to make you feel bigger, not smaller.
yeah. That is exactly what we've been through. So it's
Mm.
really nice to know that you also feel this.
Yes, 100%. I hope this album, means something to them. You can relate to it and understand the things that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like, we know that you decided to release the album on the Valentine's Day,
Mm.
but here in Brazil, Valentine's Day is only in June. But this month, it is our carnival. Have you ever heard about carnival?
I have. Oh, so that's in February. Amazing. I have heard
Yeah.
of it. Yes, I've heard it's incredible. So many people I know go there and they say they have the best time ever.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like party 24 hours. But at this moment, like pre-carnival, people are like, how can I say, deciding the situationship, if you know what I mean. Like, are
Mm.
we dating or are we, I am single right now, you know?
Okay, okay.
So, do you think your album right now, how do you think this album will resonate with people that are facing this specific moment on their lives, like broken up or having dating, like officially? How do you think it can resonate?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think it can resonate for sure. I think there's a lot of songs on this album that are about that like in between point of a new relationship, but not knowing what road to take. Like, is this going to be bad? Is this going to be good? Should I go forward or should I self-sabotage and push you away? There's a lot of moments there. There's a song called Run Run. That's basically about that. There's another song called Feels Right. That's kind of about that. Feels Right
Nice.
is more about just saying, like, who cares what happens? Like, let's just jump into this. And if, it doesn't work out, we're both still going to be alive. It's okay. And it's just kind of about being in the present moment and not worrying so much about the future. And then I think Run Run is about worrying about the future. It's like they're like the opposites of each other. Run Run is before I got to Feels Right. It's the pre thoughts of like, oh my gosh, like just telling this person, I think I'm gonna ruin this. Just run away from me because I don't know what this is and I don't know what I'm doing. So just go away. So there's like the two sides. There's the one song if you want to push someone away, and there's the other song if you want to just jump into it and
That's
and
nice.
everything in between. There's a bunch of songs about the in between as well.
I have to confess, when I heard Dead Man, it was a perfect situation for a lot of friends of mine. So I'm very excited to hear the full album.
Oh,
And
thank you.
the next question is about the music industry. We know that when you have your breakup moment, the industry were so different. Like now we have TikTok, we have short musics, we have TikTok trends. So how do you prepare to navigate this moment of music industry with your new work?
Yeah, it's very true. I think about this often because the industry changes every few months. It changes, let alone like 3 years or 10 years since I first started. It's very challenging because you think you figure it out and then it changes again and you have to kind of you're always catching up. And I'm sure you guys understand too as interviewers being in pop culture, everything the way of doing things is always changing. Which can be hard because you always kind of feel like you're two steps behind. But I think for me, what I just try to remember is the thing that stays the same is the way that I feel about music and the way that I write and the way that I express myself. And I feel like that's the one constant is my voice and who I am. And I try to just always give that same thing in the ever changing, world of music and just hope that it'll, the right people will still feel that, and that thread will always be connected. So I try to just think about it like that.
Oh, so
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
And Alessia, last but not least, we both, me and 20, we lead a community online of young women, young Brazilian women in their 20s and their early 30s. And we've noticed that we all have kind of the same fears, like
Mm.
the fear of not finding true love, not being enough, not succeeding in our life, and all this anxiety. And in your new song that I heard, Isn't It Obvious? You talk a lot about fears, right? Fears are only constellations, only glowing if we make them. So we want to know, how do you personally deal with these fears? And if you have, like us, and if you have some message for this young woman that follow us, about facing these struggles of being a young woman.
For sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I deal with so many of the exact same fears, just being a young woman not only in the music industry, that comes with a lot of like fear and pressure, but I think just in life, like we can all relate to all the things, especially around this age, you know, when things in your life start to get put into perspective, it can be a very challenging time for women. And I feel that so heavily, you know, all the pressures of the world and the things that I'm scared of. And one of my biggest fears, honestly, is like life passing really fast. I've always been so scared of that because I just hate impermanence. And I feel like there's just not enough time to do all the things I want to do and be what I want to be and spend time with all the people I want to spend time with. It's just, so that brings me a lot of anxiety. And I think what helps me the most is just trying to like understand that, like, I don't like, how do I explain this? Honestly, what I do, this sounds kind of stupid, but anytime I have like an insecurity or a fear or something that's kind of trivial and small in the grand scheme, I picture myself like looking at myself from a bird's eye view, and then I zoom all the way out. I zoom like past my body, past my city, past the world, and then until I just see the earth. And then I realize, like, it always helps me understand, like when I zoom out like that, it helps me understand like how small these little things that we worry about actually are. You know what I mean? When you do that,
Yeah.
like I really encourage people to try that. Like next time you worry about like a little insecurity of like, oh, my stomach is out and I don't like it, or I have a pimple on my face, or you know, I said something stupid. I always just like zoom out myself and I think, oh yeah, who cares? Like there's so many people in the world. Life is so much bigger than we even understand. Like these little things like are just so invented by us. Like these aren't
Yeah.
reality, you know? It's just pressures that we put on ourselves. It's so minimal in the grand scheme of things. And this just doesn't matter, you know? And I think like when I'm dying and I'm old, hopefully, knock on wood, I get to old age and I think back on my life, I'm not going to worry about the time that I had a bit of fat on my stomach or the time that I said that stupid thing. You know, like these things they don't really matter. And so that always genuinely helps me when I zoom out of my life and I look at the big picture. It really helps me. So maybe that's hopefully, you know, a little bit of advice that might help somebody. I don't know if it
Yeah,
will, but it helps me.
that was a perfect advice, and it's really cool to us know that you face kind of the same fears as us. I
For
think we are
sure, for sure.
related as women, right?
Exactly. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, so I think we are almost in time. So I just want to say thank you and say that we are very excited for Valentine's Day
Me
to
too.
hear
Me too.
your album. And if you don't mind, can you send a message for our community in Portuguese? We are saying Oi, Fundão, eu amo vocês, which means Hi, Fundão. It's the name of our community. I love you all, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
What, say the first part again? Hola?
Oi,
Oi.
Fundão. Aham.
Oi, fundão.
Yeah.
Eu amo vocês.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God, that was amazing.
Did I do it? Yay!